So, good day, everyone. This is our case study entitled The Impact of Organizational Change to Employees. The presenters are Erica A. Vitalicio and Limuel B. Garcia. The abstract: at the present time, there are rapid changes in organizations that have increased markets and opportunities for growth and revenue. Typically, the concept of organizational change refers to broad organizational changes such as mission changes, operations restructuring, mergers, collaboration, and so on. Changes in the workplace can have both positive and negative consequences. Changes is unavoidable whether we like it or not, and it affects every aspect of our lives. Hence, this study will discuss the impact of organizational change to employees and to identify the different problems encountered by employees during organizational change. And this also aims to identify possible solutions to overcome the challenges brought by organizational change. The introduction or time context: change is an ever-present feature of organizational life that has become a constant. This is due to the fact that change is inevitable for businesses that want to remain competitive and profitable in a changing environment. Organizational change occurs as a result of an ever-changing environment, as a response to a current crisis situation, or as a result of a leader's initiative. There are research saying that organizational change means organization transformation, according to Kotter and Schlesinger, 2008. It is seen that employees that are working in the organization start to have a feeling of nervousness, stress, and lack of self-confidence when organizations turn towards change such as downsizing, restructuring, as well as merging and other. Although change is just a process, there is a need to address it, since change is hard to be accepted by the employees. The statement of the problem: organizational change can occur for a variety of reasons, all of which necessitate significant restructuring. This study has been conducted to investigate the situation of employees who have freeze as a result of organizational change. Specifically, it sought to answer the following questions. First, what are the impact or problems encountered by employees during organizational change? And what are the possible solutions to overcome the challenges brought by organizational change? The objectives: first is to identify the problems encountered by employees during organizational change and to identify possible solutions to overcome the challenges brought by organizational change. Our literature review: according to Stavros et al. 2016, organizational change is the process in which firms renews itself continuously by redefining their dynamic capacity and their strategic position for optimizing their performance in a perfect situation as well in reaction to development in external and internal environment. Employees will start to experience nervousness, stress, and lack of self-confidence when organizational changes occurs, like downsizing as well as restructuring. Although change is just a process, there is a need to address it, since change is hard to be accepted by the employees. Organizational change is the development of new plans, beliefs, and attitudes among employees due to problems and opportunities that emerge from the organization. Change is significant to the organization as it assists to sustain the changing market demand and stay competitive. According to CBIA 2022, at a time of change and uncertainty across the country, employees who have been affected by change at work are more likely to report chronic work stress, likely to trust their employer, and more likely to say they plan to leave the organizations within the next year compared with those who have not been affected by organizational change. It also shows how workplace changes may affect employees' attitudes and experiences on the job. Workers who reported being affected by organizational change currently or within the past year reported lower levels of job satisfaction. Hence, according to Galbraith 2018, there are four key aspects to helping employees understand change, to drive commitment, and to ultimately contribute to the success of the organization. First is inspire people by representing a compelling vision for the future. During times of uncertainty, people experiencing change want a clear view of the path ahead. It is important to share what you know, including what is changing, when, and how. Second, keep employees informed by providing regular communications. Change communications is never a one-and-done event. Keeping employees informed is something that you will have to do throughout every step of the change process. Third, empower leaders and managers to lead through change. Major changes or transformations often require asking employees to adopt specific behaviors or skill sets in order to be successful. And when senior leader models the behavior changes, transformations are 5 times more likely to be successful. And lastly, find creative ways to involve employees in the change. When planning for major changes events, it is important to solicit feedback and engage people in the process. This helps build ownership in the change and makes employees more likely to support the change and even champion it. Next, the methodology.
So for our methodology, conducting a literature review helps the researchers to build the knowledge in the field subject, according to Western Sydney University 2018. Related literature aims to summarize and synthesize the arguments and ideas of existing knowledge in a particular field. Furthermore, as stated by Public Academy 2019, a literature review gives a direction to be headed for its success. It also gives information of the generally accepted facts, emerging and current state of the topic of the case study. Areas of consideration. Based on the related literature and studies, the researchers identified the following common impact of organizational change to the employee. First, loss of motivation. Unfamiliar with changes with the organization, stress and anxiety, low job satisfaction, and resistance to change. So our alternative course of action, align employee goals. Aligning the business goals of your company with the personal goals of your employees can help you increase workforce motivation through an organizational change. For example, stating goals of your business in terms of building positive community relationships and sustain responsible profit levels allows workers to identify those business goals because they can apply the concepts to personal desires. Workers who understand and approve of their company's goals work harder to help your business achieve those milestones. Facilitate learning. Organizational needs to provide additional training to familiarize employees with organization change, to increase knowledge. Training allows employees to feel personally invested in the organizational changes. Employees who feel more invested in the process of company change show higher levels of motivation, and internalize new methods of operation. This allows for a smoother transition and helps your company increase overall productivity. Inform employees about the organization's changes. Being aware of the who, what, why, when, and how of the change will enable organizations to include mechanisms into the process that will aid in reducing employee stress and anxiety. As a better informed workforce will feel more empowered and in control of what lies ahead. Change affects us all differently. So it is useful for organizations to understand the psychological effects it can have on employees, such as anger, shock, and denial. Listen to feedback. Throughout the change management process, you need to know how your employees feel individually. Meet with employees to gather critical feedback, learning their pain points and soliciting their opinions. Take the time to actually listen and respond to the feedback. This is important before, during, and after implementation. Ensure frequent employee communication. Communicate with employees as soon as possible, delivering the message over a variety of mediums. When communicating with employees, explain the project goals, highlighting what's in it for them, and let them know what they can expect in the weeks and months to come. In addition, in explaining how the process changes will affect their job-related tasks, you should also explain how the changes align with the organizational culture and goals. In other words, clearly explain the inherent value of the changes, rather than assuming they get it on their own. Create change management plan. A change management plan can help you outline strategy and approach. Ultimately, organizations want to explain the what, when, why, and how of the project in ways that makes all stakeholders feel comfortable with the process improvement. A robust plan will not only ensure that changes are implemented effectively, but reduces stress levels for employees. Dedicating a good amount of time in the planning stage will enable organizations to identify areas of the process that may cause added stress to employees. Myth busting. Incorrect information can rapidly circulate during periods of change, which contribute to the unease that some employees may feel. Keep the workforce abreast with the facts. Holding regular update meetings and asking employees for feedback on what they have heard through question and answer sessions. Additional support. With all the mechanism in place, there will still be some who will struggle to come to terms with any changes to come. Providing additional support may help, whether this is training on how to cope with change or referring employees to existing employee assistance programs where they can speak to a trained professional outside of the organization. Initiatives such as fitness boot camps, team activity, away days, and coffee mornings will also prove beneficial in providing some light relief from the process at hand. Conclusion. In conclusion, effective change management plan should be extremely played by organizations. Since constant changes in the environment takes place, organizations has to make some changes to the organization that creates negative impact on the employees. The organization must ensure and take necessary steps to make sure that the employees are effectively coping with the organizational changes. These include physical, emotional, and mental aspects of the well-being of their employees. Being aware of who, what, why, and when, and how change will enable managers to include mechanisms into the process that will aid in reducing employee stress and anxiety, etc. In addition, they must provide additional support to employees that are affected by organizational change. The organization should take strategic role ensuring that the employees are effectively coping with organizational change. So the recommendation, the following are the recommended course of action for the impact of organizational change to employees. First, organizations must develop a change management plan early in the process improvement initiative to help employees cope with organizational change. Second, organizational employee assessment must be conducted. These assessments can also help the organization in understanding how employees may react to change and determining how the organization's approach can be structured to mitigate change resistance. Third, continued communication, lack of a steady stream of communication on the progress being made will ensure that employees do not feel as tough they are, not being considered, and create awareness on what, why, how questions of the employees. Fourth, organizations must conduct employee training to make sure that the employees are well prepared for the changes in organization. So that is all. Thank you.